evening, everyone. This is Chris. Welcome back. For all of you that are new, welcome. My channel is mainly on life. I struggle with anxiety, depression, and this time of year it can be rather difficult. So today, what we're going to do is we are just going to chat a little bit, kind of catch up. I'm going to wrap some presents while we chat. And it's been kind of give you guys heads up on how things have been going. It has been difficult the last few weeks, but I've learned techniques over time that has helped me to get through some of these trying times. And basically, when, at least here lately, when I get kind of depressed, and I haven't really had too much issues with anxiety, but I do get depressed very easily. And we had a little get together over the weekend with family to just kind of start back a tradition that we done as kids to make cookies, candies, things like that with grandkids, nieces, nephews, siblings. We used to do that with our grandparents growing up, and we got together. It was a very, very nice time. We did a lot of catching up. You know, the siblings did a lot of catching up, and we had grandkids there, and it was very nice. I will have to admit though that I did have a couple little instances where I got a little bit anxious. Nothing major, because I just kind of redirected and focused on something that was going on at that particular time and tried to redirect where my thoughts were going. And but in instances like that, it just goes to show that anxiety can hit anywhere. It can hit even when you're around people that you love. You know you're safe. You know there's no issues. But you still can have anxiety. And it surprised me in a way to be anxious, knowing that I was in a very familiar place. I was in a very safe place. There was no threat, no nothing. And for me to be anxious, I found that to be kind of strange for me. But at the same time, it made me realize that anxiety, although I knew that it just comes on randomly, anxiety can actually hit in places and times when you are safe. I don't know if I would. I mean, I was anxious for sure, but I was also excited. And the more I got to feel on a little, like I said, there was a couple times I felt like I needed to get out of there. But when I got to that point, then I just told myself, and I don't know that it'll work for everybody. It just so happened to work for me that day. But I just told myself that I wasn't anxious. I was excited. And the feeling of excitement and the feeling of anxiety is very, very, very similar. And you just have to realize what it is that you're feeling. I didn't have the for any of you that are new, I had done a video on when I was coming down off of an anxiety attack from going to visit a friend in another small town, not very far from here. And I had the heart palpitations, my chest was, getting a little tight. I didn't have all of that. So, but it also didn't feel necessarily like excitement. So I wasn't really sure what the feeling was, but I just kept telling myself, I'm safe. I'm fine. I'm excited. I'm not scared. I'm not in danger. Everything is fine. And after, I would say probably 4 or 5 minutes, that feeling did go away. And like I said, I don't know if it was a feeling of excitement or a feeling of fear, but whatever it was, I was able to divert it, and I didn't have any more issues the rest of the evening. Now, when I got home that evening, and I finally sat down for the night, for some reason, I just started crying. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the anxiety that I pushed down, and it just eventually, because I had pushed it down, because I know whenever I'm having an anxiety attack, it does create, like if I'm in a full-blown anxiety attack, I do cry once everything has settled down, but that's usually immediately. But this would have been probably 4 hours later, 5 hours later, and I've never had it hit me like that before. And normally I would try to figure out what was going on, why I was crying, tell myself, oh, well, you don't have anything to cry about, but I didn't. I just let myself cry, and I just kept telling myself over and over that I'm okay, it was a good day, we had fun, and I just kind of kept trying to reassure myself that the emotions that I was having was okay to have, but there was no reason to fear. And that did take me a little bit to get past, but once I got past that, then the next day it was just like I don't know, I felt different. I felt more at peace. Because anytime I've had an anxiety attack, I've always pushed myself away from whatever it was that was giving me the anxiety. Even if I knew I was in a safe place, I would always just, like if I was at work and I'd start to have one, then I would tell myself, oh, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. The only way I'm gonna get rid of it is I gotta go home. And I just kept telling myself that, even though I knew I was in a good place, that there were people there that could help me. I wasn't alone. I wasn't being hurt or anything like that. But that's how I've always dealt with anxiety in the past. But this time I didn't do that. This time I went ahead and fought through it. I didn't let it get me down. And so what I did the next day is, since I was feeling more at peace with it, and I didn't blame myself for it, I didn't have any negative feelings towards myself like I normally do, because I didn't leave the situation. I fought through it. I stayed there. I kept telling myself everything was fine. There was nothing to worry about, and everything was, I was safe, and all of that, and it definitely made for a different outcome. It was very hard to push through it at first. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was definitely hard, but I think that if you, deep down, if you know you are in a safe place and that there is nothing that is going to hurt you, you're with people that you know can help you in your situation, then just try to redirect your attention. And you will notice a difference in how you feel even right after the situation. You will find that you are more calm. You will find that you don't feel the regret. You don't feel the anger towards yourself for walking away from the situation. And the key thing to take away from it is anxiety didn't win. And the more often that you're able to push through your anxiety and not let it win, you'll build up a different feeling, a different, like anytime you have an anxiety attack, your body remembers. Anytime you do anything, your body remembers what you did. But how you react to it will help in future reactions. I'm not saying the next time, I'll automatically be able to walk away from it and everything will be fine. I'm not saying that at all. But it will be a little bit easier to do because I've done it before now. And I can tell myself, oh, well, I remember the last time this happened, and I done X, Y, Z, and I was able to get through it. So the more you do that, then the more your body realizes that what the difference between a threat and what is excitement, or you'll start noticing the different, even though they're very, very similar, you'll start noticing the difference between the excited feeling versus the fear. At least that's what I'm hoping, because I have felt both now, and they do feel very, very similar. But like I said, I didn't have the heart palpitations. I did kind of have, I got a little hot, got a little bit lightheaded, and it just, which is the same symptoms I have whenever I'm having a panic attack. But I also get heart palpitations with a panic attack, and I did not get that with this. So that's one thing I'm going to take away from that, was that there is a slight difference. Now, the next time that this occurs, and it's not, like, I know I'm not anywhere that's going to be, that's going to hurt me or anything. If I have something like this, then I want to try to be aware of how my body's acting, what the situation around me is. Maybe what I was doing when it started, and I can try to pinpoint maybe what's doing it. I do know some of what done it that day, at least what I'm guessing, is where I was at wasn't a real large room, but there were a lot of people in it. And I think it was just because it was so crowded. And I'm not claustrophobic that I know of, but I'm wondering if that maybe, I mean, I don't know what it feels like for claustrophobia. So I'm wondering if I don't have a little bit of claustrophobia. And that just, because there were so many people there, I don't know. These are just little things that I'm learning as I'm going. So by no means, is any of this medical advice or, this is what you should do. This is just my experience and how I have learned to get through, or how I've come through a situation. And it's been very interesting to figure out, have these little aha moments when you realize the difference between something. I've had anxiety attacks for years, and they all feel like I'm dying. I mean, that's the easiest way to explain them. They feel like you're dying. They feel like you're having a heart attack. You can't breathe. You're lightheaded. Your chest hurts. You feel like you're dying. And that's a full-blown panic anxiety attack. I have had several of those. I've had some that were not that bad. Most of them, I've learned to tell how far I can push my body. But if you're relatively new with anxiety, don't push your body too far, but at the same time, try little techniques that will help you move further and further and further through your anxiety attack without giving into it. I still have anxiety. I will never say I don't have it, but to say that I've had an anxiety attack, a full-blown anxiety attack, I've not had that since the day that I filmed going to a friend's house. And that wasn't a full-blown attack, but to me that was as close as I wanted to push my body. Had I gone even a minute or two later, there would have been no turning back of that day. I would have had to stop and either stay where I was or call for assistance, because I was getting to the point I couldn't do anything. So, know your body. This time of the year, you're going to have all kinds of feelings. You're going to have stress. You're going to have anxiety and tension and fear and depression and overwhelm. And just the one thing that I'm trying to focus on is take a few minutes for yourself every day. That is the hardest thing I've had to do. I'm not one to take time for myself. I'm always doing something. If I'm not doing something, I feel like I should be doing something. Or I feel bad because something didn't get done because I sat down for 5 minutes. You have to let yourself take 5 minutes, at least. Whether it be go sit in your car and listen to a little bit of music, or, go for a walk, or take a warm bath, or, just when you're doing dishes, maybe listen to some relaxing music, or just something to get out of your head. Your head is the enemy lines. I heard that from Mel Robbins She says when you are in your head, you're behind enemy lines. And I believe it, because any time that I'm not focusing solely on one thing, I'm overthinking. I'm in my head. I'm thinking about what I need to do, thinking about what I did wrong, thinking about what I didn't get done, thinking, this person said this about me, this person said that about me, I didn't get this part done on my job or something. You're overthinking something. You're inside your head. Those are the times that you need to just step back. If you're at work and you get to that point, take a break. Get up, walk around, go to the bathroom, just take a break. 5 minutes is better than nothing. And this time of the year, you need to do it on a daily basis. You need to do it every day anyway, but definitely during the holiday season, because you will find yourself overstressed and overwhelmed much, much more. This is the time of year that brings out emotions, loss, guilt, shame. You have so many emotions. Try to get in touch with those emotions. When you're taking a few minutes to yourself, if you need to cry, cry. If you're with your kids and they're screaming their head off, just take a few minutes, go to the bathroom and relax. Just shut the bathroom door and relax. They will be okay for 5 minutes. You are right in the next room. Let them have their meltdown. You go in the bathroom and have your meltdown. Give yourself a couple minutes, come back out. You've had your chance to calm down. They may not have, but you have. Therefore, you can take control of the situation again. If you have to do that 2 and 3 times before things calm down, do it 2 or 3 times. Don't let overwhelm get the best of you. So, I think that's where I'm going to leave you this time. I just wanted to kind of sit down, chat with you, kind of let you know my experience over the weekend, and let you know that just because you're in a safe place doesn't mean you won't have anxiety. Just let yourself know this is normal. Calm down, take a break, walk away if you need to for a minute, and come back to the situation. Don't walk away from the situation, because you are in a safe place. Now, obviously, if you're in a bad place, leave. But if you're with family and you still get the anxiety, just know you're in a safe place. Nothing's going to happen to you, and if it does, you're with family. They know what to do. Don't worry about it. And again, because you're with family, if you need to go outside, leave your kids with them for a couple minutes and go outside. Go to the bathroom. Lay down for a minute. Whatever. You're with family. You're with friends. Nothing's going to happen. So, until we talk again, God bless. Have a good holiday season. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And just know you're not alone.